central London packed with protesters. Their message to the government: give people another say on Brexit.
What do we want? Free vote! When do we want it? Now!
With Britain's intended departure from the EU just weeks away, politicians and the country remain divided. Demonstrators think there needs to be a second referendum to settle the issue.
I just think that we didn't make an informed decision. We weren't on both sides. We weren't given enough information. We weren't told what Brexit would actually look like.
The country is in a mess, brought on by our government, their incompetence.
London Mayor Sadiq Khan says it should be up to the voters to undo the Brexit chaos.
It's time to give the British people a final say. You know, the British people didn't vote for the government to gamble on our future. The British people didn't vote for the national nightmare that's been created.
Parliament is due to resume debate next week and must still give its approval to extending the March 29th Brexit deadline. Britain would then leave the EU on April 12th without a deal unless MPs approve Prime Minister May's plan or propose a different way forward. That would mean having to ask the EU for another extension and taking part in European elections. If Parliament approves May's deal, London would have until May 22nd to finalize its Brexit preparations. Then there's also the nuclear option of revoking Article 50 and cancelling Brexit. Millions have already signed an online petition demanding just that, piling on more pressure as lawmakers face a week of high-stakes decisions.
And it's not just on the streets that Britons have been expressing their wish to stop Brexit and remain in the EU. Millions of people have signed an online petition calling for a second referendum, and the figure is rising rapidly. Joining me now in the studio to tell us more is DW reporter Pablo Foley Elias. Pablo, break this down for us. First of all, who is behind this petition and what exactly are they calling for?
Well, first and foremost, a petition was launched by a lady called Margaret Georgiadou. She's just an average British citizen who decided to propose this petition to the British Parliament at the end of February. And we're going to see now exactly the wording of the petition, because what it said was that the government repeatedly claims exiting the EU is the will of the people, and we need to put a stop to this claim by proving the strength of public support now for remaining in the European Union. Now, a people's vote may not happen, so vote now. Now, it's obviously gained a lot of traction, and particularly in the past few days. In fact, in order for a petition to actually then be dealt with by the government, you only need 10,000 signatures. Now, at the last count, it's over 4.3 million people. And in fact, in a few days, it's really been increasing and gathering a lot of momentum.
So it's obviously striking a chord with millions of Britons. Who exactly is signing this?
Well, we're seeing it as well with, the people who have taken to the streets in London today as well. It's not just there, obviously online. This seems to be appealing to people who are just against what's happening in the UK at the moment. And it's not just in the UK. We're seeing here from Guy Verhofstadt. Of course, he's the Brexit coordinator for the European Parliament. He said the revolt against Brexit by marching and petitions is the best answer to all kinds of populists and nationalists who promised the undeliverable and then ran away. Pretty strong words there from Guy Verhofstadt, and also, he has been very vocal about this in the past. But then if we take a look here at this tweet from Brexit Bin, this is a Twitter account that seems to be very popular amongst people who want Britain to stay in the European Union. Over 4.3 million people so far have signed the petition to revoke Article 50, and Remainers are a force to be reckoned with. It's insane that neither Labour nor the Tories want to listen to us. So there's, a broad consensus there amongst many people feel that neither political party of the two main parties in Britain are really listening to them. And then Tony Robinson, for many Britons, he's a very well-known actor and writer. He has said that he wants people to tell if you can persuade 4 more people, will get that more than 17 million signatures, of course, referring to the over 17 million people who voted in the referendum to remain in the European Union. So it's really something that seems to have appealed to people from all walks of life, and we've seen that as well, like I said before, amongst those people who took to the streets of London today.
Frankly, that's a little ambitious when you think about this issue from the outside, because I can't think of too many more contentious issues that have come up in the past, to say the least. So I can't imagine that all of the reaction to this has been positive.
No, you're absolutely right.
What are the critics saying?
Well,
quickly?
I mean, you know, there's been a lot of this. I mean, we've seen people like Ryan Bourne. He's works for an institute lobby group, the Cato Institute, and also writes for The Telegraph. He said that we're seeing the final anti-Brexit spasms. It's a petition, the march, media ramping up supposed shifting of opinion. So basically, he's saying that, you know, it's going to be defeated, basically deal with the fact that Brexit is going to happen and sort of essentially get on with it. And we've also heard from well-known journalist Piers Morgan. He also seems to represent a lot of public opinion in many respects. He's very controversial, let's not forget that. And he's referred to the march as the Losers' March today.
Pablo Foley Elias, I have to stop you there. Thank you so much.